Well, it all starts really with a huge word called forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is something that is very difficult to do for an awful lot of people. But life is unfair, you might say. I couldn't forgive that person. Why, let me tell you what that rascal did to me. Or let me tell you what that woman did to me. It hurt me years and years ago. Well, let me tell you something, folks. When we deal only in fairness, I might point out that neuropsychologist Philip McGraw says this: if we make fairness the basis of forgiveness, then we're going to be at war the rest of our lives with people in our lives. Let's deal with this one just for a few minutes. I fully understand that forgiveness is a very difficult thing to do, but in my judgment, it is the most prominent problem that we have in our society. But that person doesn't deserve to be forgiven. Don't play God. That's the business that He is in. Do yourself a favor, give yourself the gift of forgiveness. I've seen it happen so many times, but one of the most vivid experiences I think I've ever had, I was speaking in Atlanta, Georgia, 3 or 4 years ago. It was a Friday night, huge crowd. And they were videotaping, and you could only see the front part of the audience, and I couldn't see what was going on in the back. And I got to talking about forgiveness. And I made the observation that regardless of what had been done to you or said about you, everything from sexual abuse to beating or abandonment or abusing your wife or your mother or whatever it was, forgiveness is the key. And I made the observation, I said, one of these days you will either say, I wish I had, or I'm glad I did. You can count on it. Later I was told there was a young woman seated in the audience who got up and walked out. Later I learned, as a matter of fact, that evening one of the gentlemen told me the next morning the young woman came up to me and she said, I'm the one they were talking about last night. She said, my stepfather started sexually abusing me when I was 10 years old. And he abused me until I was 16. And I was old enough then to run away from home and look after myself. She said, I haven't spoken to him in all of this period of time, not even once. And she said, I sat there and I was pondering, should I go call him? He was still with my mother, and I knew that he in all probability would be home. So I called, and she said, sure enough, after a moment or two with my mother, I asked to speak to him. He was stunned. And the interesting thing about this lady, she was talking to me, I don't know how you women do it. How can a woman have tears running out of her eyes and laughing and smiling all at the same time? I don't know how you do it, but that's what she was doing. She would talk a minute or so, and then she would grab me and hug me, and she'd talk some more, and then she'd grab me and hug me again. She said, when I told my stepfather what you had said to say, what you did to me was horribly wrong. It did an awful lot of damage to me. I don't know why you did it. I was a child. You were an adult. But you did it, and it hurt terribly. But I just want to tell you 2 things. First of all, I want you to know that despite all of this, I do love you, and I do forgive you. And she said her stepfather broke down and wept profusely. And the end of the story, I don't know yet, but I do know what she said. She said, I've never felt the freedom like I have felt when I forgave that person. Now, folks, let me tell you something about forgiveness. It's dangerous. You see, when you forgive somebody, then you no longer can say it's his fault or her fault. You're now saying, I accept the responsibility. See, you can either let your past beat you or you can let it teach you. But you've got to make friends with your past in order to be fully productive in your present so your future can be all that it can be. About 25 years ago, I made a similar talk, and there was a well-known celebrity on the program. I didn't hear from him along these lines for over 25 years, and last year, as a result of several things happening, I got a letter. My office did, and here's what the letter said. When I first heard Zig, my electric career was limited to drug abuse prevention. My message was angry, punitive, and unforgiving because I had lost a daughter to LSD. Zig's hopeful, loving, and forgiving words quickly persuaded me to change and follow his positive attitude about life's problems. Thanks, Zig. It's been a great 25 years. Art Link letter. When we think about forgiveness and the capacity to forgive, you deserve to forgive somebody else, because that really does make a difference in your life. You can't carry anger and bitterness throughout your life and ever expect to reach the potential which you have.